This episode of Nintendo Power Block is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support Nintendo Power Block and the Boss Rush Network, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Network and see which tier is right for you. Thanks for your continued support. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Power Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host and Latte Excited Eddie V, and joining me on this episode, the one, the only, you guys know who he is. You guys seen him a couple of weeks back, but he's back, and of course, it's the Doc who rocks, Austin Campbell. Hello, good sir, welcome back.
What's going on? Hopefully no one's sick of me yet, because I've been on a few times here recently. So hopefully no one's getting sick yet.
Yes. No one's getting sick and everything. We are recording this episode a little bit early because by the time you guys see this, we have just gotten back from PAX, reading articles, doing play testing, meeting new friends and everything. But we're recording in events because just like we're going to be doing a lot of work, a lot of recording, speaking to different developers, playing their games, meeting new people, new content creators. Stephanie is going to be on the trivia gang, so of course us as Boss Rush going to go in and support heavily.
She better win. I have all my next check on this trivia contest. She better win.
Yeah, and a lot of the contestants that's going to be with her will be meeting for the first time. So we, hopefully we could like connect, touch down, and definitely become friends and just like be excited and supportive at PAX West. I think we're all probably going to be getting there at the same time. It's going to be super exciting, and I cannot wait. And everything. I got my flights, my Airbnb is paid for, so I am ready. The scheduling, dude, I spent some time getting my schedule together with everybody, different developers. Some of them I had to leave the convention and go like down the street or across the block here and there. So it's gonna be very entertaining to meet and these developers and play their games and talk about their creation and stuff like that. And some of the people that like respond and everything, they ask, is there anything that we need to know just in advance and stuff. I'm like, well, I'll ask you like the basic questions, but I'm also going to ask them like I did at PAX East. What is your favorite snack to eat? Like, or what is your like for your hometown, something that you miss, like local food or anything that they develop. And you'd be surprised that some people have a hard time thinking of an answer because it's so varied in everything.
They've got all these video game questions already locked in their head. They already know what to answer. And when you throw a curveball like that, they're like, "Wait, what? I didn't think about that. What is my favorite snack?"
Yeah, we got some answers for popcorn, Mexican tacos, and stuff. Like I love asking about snacks and everything.
Oh yeah,
Just to get different people's perspective because I feel like even if the conversation or the discussion, like the interview, feels kind of, I won't say organic, feels very business like. I like to end it on a fun note. So why not talk about what snack is coming to? Because I'm always going to ask them, do you guys have plans for like future release on Nintendo's platform or Switch or anything or console and stuff like that? Because I know most of the demos that I'll be playing on are going to be like on PCs with the Xbox controller, which I was talking. Me and Corey been talking about this that just at PAX East. I know we got to move on from PAX East. That when playing these demos, the Xbox controller, Series X or Xbox One or whatever Xbox controller that they use, feels great. You really
Mm,
good. It really controls good. It really gives you an idea of how tight the controls could be. And translating that to PlayStation and Nintendo is going to be a sight to see, which makes purchasing the game multiple times or playing the game on different platforms very interesting to see how the input it is
mm-hmm,
works and stuff. Like it is very interesting. So and like I said, I know we are be playing the PC build of that demo, but it always feels good with the Xbox controller. And I kind of just like so happy that I am an Xbox player and I'm used to the controller. And I kind of now feel understand why if people who do play Steam games or Epic games or GOG stuff like they play PC games, if they don't use mouse and keyboard, why the Xbox controller is kind of like the best fit to me, or even the Pro controller, because like you can do some of the games with the Nintendo controller. Like I was doing Bionic Commando on
mm-hmm,
PC with the my Pro controller, and it works just so well. It feels so good.
mm-hmm.
It's very natural.
It was for a time like on Steam where you had to set up like a separate driver for all the other extra controllers besides the
Mm-hmm.
Xbox 360 controller. The 360 controller just immediately hooked up as soon as you used it. So that I think that was kind of what installed like people really wanting to use a 360 controller on PC.
Yeah.
But now I'm pretty sure Steam has it updated to where they recognize all the different controllers like PlayStation and Nintendo. So but I for a while you had to download separate drivers for to use like a PS4 one when I was doing it. But it was just easier just to have a 360 controller because you literally just plug a USB in and it's all good. So
Right. It's funny with the Pro controller. Like if you connect it to your PC and you got Steam, you hit the home button, it opens up Steam
yeah,
like that. I'm like, oh wow. So,
but
but
I think
also,
you're onto
okay,
something with the snacks because you know you ask people like what their favorite music is and you have some of those weird people that are just like I don't listen to music, you know.
yeah.
We know one of those people, but uh but I don't think there's anyone where you're like, what snacks do you like? No one says, oh, I don't really eat snacks. I don't really eat food. No one says that. If they do,
Right.
they're you don't want to talk to them anyway.
Well, no, I still want to talk to them, even if they say I just drink water. Water's my favorite snack. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like,
That's
do
an
you do
alien, Ed.
flavor?
You're talking to an alien if they're not eating.
But it's very that is true, yes. But there is people that
Hmm.
that have their reasons for doing what they do when it comes to
Hmm.
food and liquid. I'm just saying that. It's like I said, it's good to ask because I love hearing the answers from different developers around the world and stuff, and I just
Hmm.
think it's so cool to hear that.
Yeah,
So, but Austin, how have you been?
I've been great. Just it's actually been a pretty nice week here. It's not as hot as it's been. It's been kind of cloudy. It's been the high 80s, 90s instead of the hundreds. So it's been a little
Mm,
nice this week. Not too bad, not too shabby. Um, but other than that, I'm just living life.
that's good. That's good. Well, how about we get into this housekeeping? And I will say this, Austin. Uh,
Hmm.
next week's well, we're recording early, but the August 28th episode of Pop Lock. If you have missed it, go listen to it with my guest Snurks. Snurks. This is my first time talking to him. He is amazing. We talk a lot of PlayStation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So if
Is
you
that's the Pavlok episode or is that
yeah, Pop
extra
Lock
episode?
episode.
Okay,
Yeah, Pop
yeah.
Lock episode. So
I listen to all the episodes I'm not on. If I'm on the episode, I don't listen to it. I don't want.
but Well, we're going to get into this housekeeping to everybody. If you want to support Nintendo Pop Like and our other podcasts, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Bossrush Network. Subscribing to tiers on our Patreon can grant you perks like the new exclusive post shows, voting rights for Smarter Cast and Video Game Book Club, exclusive question threads for a Spotlight podcast, early access to After Dark, and more. As always, though, your viewership and listenership is enough for us. Subscribe to the Bus Rush Network on YouTube and like this video. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or even if you don't, leave us a rating and a nice review on those platforms. You can find all of our banters, features, listicles, reviews, and more on our website, bossrush.net. So, speaking of snacks, it's time for Snackendo!
Let's go.
Austin, where have you been snacking? Good sir.
I I had I'll talk about two things that I ate today. One, I found out I've had blueberry frosted mini wheats before. I did not
Mm-hmm.
know about blueberry muffin frosted mini wheats. I don't know if you've
Ooh, that
seen
sounds
these.
new.
I don't really know the difference. I don't know what makes the muffin part, to be honest. I don't know what it is. So it just tasted like blueberry mini wheats, which is fine with me. I like those
Mm-hmm.
already, but I wasn't sure where the muffin is coming in. I don't know if there was supposed to be some cinnamon flavor. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't taste it. Um the other thing that well, okay, two more things. One,
Okay.
my wife killed it the other day with these slow cooker ribs, and I ate the last of the leftovers today. Let me tell you, delicious. Delicious. Just all of it. Give me all of it.
Anointed. Anointed.
Exactly. I feel anointed. I feel anointed. But the thing I found today while I was going to Walmart and see my wife will put it on a Walmart online order. We just go pick it up because it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to spend time looking through the grocery store. Every now and then I like to, but most of the time I'm just like I want to get my stuff and get out. Well, there's a few things we forgot to add to the list, so I had to go in. And this is why I don't go in because I'll find all kinds of snacks that I want to take
Mm-hmm.
home. So things I found today, I found that Walmart has these their version of goldfish called penguins. So I was like, I'm gonna get some of
Ah.
those.
Okay.
I found some sour cream and onion pretzel sticks, the Snyder's pretzel rods,
Ooh.
and then I was like, all right, I'm getting out. But on my way out, I see Pop Tarts on the end cap,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them normal flavors except one box. And this box was banana bread Pop Tarts.
Oh, that
Never
must be the
seen this
new
before.
one.
Never seen this before. I had to grab a box. So I haven't tried any of those things yet. But next time you have me, I will report because man, I'm so excited to try banana bread Pop Tarts. I love banana bread
Mm-hmm.
and I had to get it. There was nothing. I would have stole it if I couldn't afford it.
Dude, that's what I'm waiting for. Uh, the food in Seattle. Boston got some good
Oh,
food. Don't get me
yes.
wrong. Oh, I cannot wait for Seattle. I told my friend Larry, anytime that I come to South Bend, Indiana, he already knows if I'm here on a Sunday, we need to hit Eva Check. If I'm here on a Saturday, we need to drive around and see where this barbecue kind of they do like this grilled chicken kind of dinners and stuff at little shop thing. He already knows if if I wanted to go and get some last time I went to South Bend because I went for Larry's birthday or Wall's birthday I should call him. I went for his birthday and because we had other plans we couldn't stop by the gas station and get the barbecue chicken. He knows if I see it and it's just a regular Saturday, we need to go get it. That's straight lunch. And then uh I have maybe one of the best gyro at a place
Mm.
called King Gyros in South Bend. Man, last time I went, I got a full meal for $5.75. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
gyro, the fries, and the medium drink. I was just like, "Are
Dang.
you serious?" I'm like, "This would cost me about $12 in Illinois." Like
That's a
no
good
joke.
home
He's like,
place. That's a
"Oh
good
yeah,
home cooking place. Yeah.
yeah." So, uh, hopefully, when I'm able to go on vacation in October, um, I might have to make a drive down to South Bend. Be like,
That actually reminds
let's
me
cook it
that
there.
you talk about gyros. Our The Greek festival is either this weekend or next
Mm-hmm.
weekend, and they've always got gyros there and calamari and the tzatziki. There's all kinds of stuff there.
Yeah.
Very very good place. I've been there a few times. I've been there a few times and eat all the food.
I want to go back to a Greek festival. I like or go to a real like Greek festival. I haven't been to one. We had one at my community college, which was good. But I'm like, I want to go to
Mhm.
like a big one, like a big fancy, not
This
fancy,
one's
but
pretty small too. I don't know if I've been to a big one. This is it's at a Greek Orthodox church, and then like
mm,
the in the local Tulsa area, and they have like music and all that stuff, which I like the music. There's dancing and all that stuff, and
mm.
they have all these different arts and crafts. But then of course the food. And then you can go inside and look at the Greek Orthodox Church, and look at all the art and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'll be trying to sing that mud to see how the acoustics is. And be like, ooh, okay, that's good.
It's not a big church, and it's quaint. It's not a huge, but it is pretty. It's pretty inside.
Uh, That's good. Sometimes when we visit different churches, me and my friend will just sing some gospel or something in there just to see the how the acoustic sounds and everything. And if there's a piano, he'll play, and I'll be like, "Yeah, we
What
could use
hymn do
something
you
here."
break out when you're testing the acoustics? Like what's
Oh,
the hymn
what
that you
hymn
break
do?
out?
Uh, I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you, oh my soul.
Oh yeah,
Rejoice, take joy, my King, in what you hear. Let it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. Something like that.
yeah. So hey, if you're ever in a church and you hear that voice, you hear that saying, Ed is testing the acoustics of the church right now.
Well, that's what I'm waiting for this episode of this podcast called How Did This Get Made? uh they
Hmm.
have a section where you could they want to do second opinions, and which is like the reviews about a movie, and you could get up there at that live shows and do a song that you wrote, or a parody song, stuff like that. And so I went up there and did I Can Go the Distance from Hercules.
Hmm.
But I did like the chorus part about second opinions, and I don't know if I got chosen or not because the episode isn't out yet. So I'm like, I'm hoping, I'm checking like every other Friday when they talk about what new movies or the movies that's gonna come out, uh, to see if they're gonna do the recording of our show. I mean, of our thing in Chicago, and
Hmm.
then I want to see if I got chosen or not and everything, because I was the second. This one girl, she went first and everything, and she was really good. I went second and everything, and just like gave vocals, not what I just did right there, but gave like vocals and everything. And one of them were just like, "Man, Chicago's bringing it and everything." So I'm like, if I get chose, I might have to tell y'all. I'd be like, "Yeah, if y'all want to hear something, check out this on this podcast." But I probably didn't get chosen. I don't know. The episode was recorded in November of last year, and it
Hmm.
still isn't out yet. So I don't know if it's coming out or what. I'm just like, what's going on? I don't know.
I didn't know you listened to How Did This Get Made. I like that podcast. I know all three of
Yeah,
those people from The League, which is a TV show that they were all three on, and it was
yeah.
super
Jason,
funny.
Paul, and June. Yeah,
Jason's wild, man. Every show
Jason
he's in,
Menzel.
he's crazy.
Well, he was the bum in John Wick 3.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he does some voiceovers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
last show I saw him in was Invincible. He's a character in Invincible, uh, and you know it's him immediately.
I think he's in Star Trek Prodigy also.
That I
I
don't
think he
know.
voiced one
That's
of
a
the
question for
characters there.
Laurent. Laurent would know.
Yeah. So, but well, for me, I been eating ramen noodles, uh, just being on the budget, everybody's saving. I did have some Chipotle, uh, like one night because I was just like I was craving it, so I ordered some and picked it up. My employee she treated me out to McDonald's, so I had the $5 meal kind of
Oh yeah.
thing. Chicken, the four nuggets, some fries. I make some fries with the quickness and drink the Sprite like real quick and stuff. Like I kind of ate quick and stuff. And for after this recording, I'm probably gonna go get a pizza because I have a taste for Jack's Pizza for some unknown reason.
What's I don't think we don't have Jack's Pizza around here. Is that a chain or is that a
No, it's the brand Jack's,
Oh okay.
the thin pizza Jack's.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I've seen
yeah,
those.
yeah. Everything. Like the thing with pizza, I like going to Wisconsin to sometimes get my pizza because they have brands that we don't have here in Illinois. Uh,
Hmm.
and because they use like uh their cheese for some of them, I mean, like I wonder how this tastes, and sometimes it's really good and everything.
Hmm.
So,
We have different chains down here that are a little different. They use like a spicier sauce on the pizza down
mm,
here. That's like the difference. You can tell like we have like Pizza Hut and Domino's, but we have this place called Mazio's. If you go to Mazio's, it's known for two things. It's spicy, like red sauce, and it's ranch, which is thick. It is thick, thick ranch, and it's very
oh
good.
wow,
It's very good ranch.
oh, cool, cool. Well, everybody, it's time that we talk about what we've been playing and playing with power.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go first, Austin, with this one because I've
Yeah.
been playing Evil Land. I'm at or Evil Land 2, Legendary Edition. It has the first game and the second game. The second game is more of a traditional action slash um, at the time battle RPG because there's areas that you play like top down like in Zelda, and then there's other times that you go to like the Final Fantasy ones, but it's playing a lot on Chrono Trigger. It's like playing homage to Chrono Trigger, and that's kind of cool and everything. So I'm working on that, getting that finished. I downloaded some demos on Switch, like Shadow the Ninja. I got the Emio demo; it finally dropped, so I'll be starting that. And playing some that game, doing the first chapter. Because actually the second chapter dropped also. So both chapters are available, and then um, the next one is dropping next week before the full game comes out. And everything.
Do you know how many
So
chapters are in the full game?
not really. They haven't said
Okay.
anything. Since it's a new one, and it's gonna be everybody's first time playing it, we won't know what the chapters are yet. I started up Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox. Um,
Mm,
I'm in Hercules land, so I'm getting a little bit further in that. And that's as far as I got because I was playing it on PlayStation, and that's as far as I got. It was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this yet. I could
yeah.
wait it out, and then it was on Xbox for cheap, so I decided to get. I had to get the PlayStation one because I have all the original games on PS2 and PS4.
Hmm.
I have three with the collection and everything. So and then I played a little bit of Bionic Commando 2 on Xbox also. Just the intro, getting that game down. So Ace
Get your
Attorney
grappling
Invest,
hook in.
yeah, Ace Attorney Investigations, just have dropped with their demo also. So I downloaded that demo, so I'm gonna play that when I get a chance also. Yeah, but
Hmm.
that's pretty much all I've been playing. Definitely Evil Land is what I've been playing a lot. But definitely when by the time I go on my trip to PAX West, I'll be playing a lot of games. My flight is 4 hours.
So
I'm
that's
like,
gonna be the game that you really get on whenever you get on the plane.
I may do Final Fantasy 9 and just cut
Mm.
on the cheat where not so much a cheat, it's a function where I'm just super powerful, like I don't really have to grind, I could just go through the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Just go through the
I'm
game.
probably going to do that, yeah, because like you can hit them like 9,999 hits.
Yeah.
So um
When I when
a
I
lot. Go
when
ahead.
I replayed seven to do the seven remake, that's how I did it because I was like, I don't have the time or patience to do this right now. When I was a kid, it was
Right.
no big deal, but now I'm just like, I need to get through this.
Right, and a lot of like Final Fantasy 9 I've played, but I
Hmm.
haven't. But I never was able to play the third disc because the third disc was scratched, or my PlayStation
Oh.
scratched it, or something happened to it, and so I never got to finish Final Fantasy 9. So with that, I could just be able everything from the third disc on until will all be new to me. So I'm just like, okay, now that I got it, I could just kill these mugs. I probably could grind a little bit
Hmm.
quicker also, and just finish the game in the and everything. Because I just want to beat it and get to the end and say
Yeah,
that I beat Final Fantasy 9.
that's exciting. Seven, 9, and 10 are like my three favorites. So they're, I really, I'm really excited to see what you think at the end. Um,
Yeah,
I never heard of this Evo Land either, so I actually looked it up and I was like, might have to check this one out. Check this one out.
yeah. So,
It's
but what
funny.
about you, Austin?
It's funny that you mentioned Kingdom Hearts because I
Mm,
actually dreamt about Kingdom Hearts last night randomly, and this is a new Kingdom Hearts game
uh,
where it's like it's like for some reason I'm Sora in this situation. I got the Keyblade.
yeah,
Kim Possible is my companion at the time, and we're fighting Pete. You know Pete from Mickey Mouse and stuff like that, and
yeah.
Prospector Pete from Toy Story 2. It's both Pete's at the same time. I'm
Oh,
hoping that this is God's vision, that this is a prophecy, and that Kingdom Hearts 4, this is going to happen. I'm not entirely sure. There's some weird
mm.
characters to put in it, but it was a weird dream because I like Kingdom Hearts, but I'm not crazy about it, and I don't think about it all that much. For me to dream about it was very, very weird. Very weird.
someone someone mentioned Kingdom Hearts 3 that they about to start it, and I'm just like, I just downloaded the game and I'm about to start it too. So I think people are probably gonna get started getting ready to play it because I know uh I think Star Wars Outlaws just dropped or came out.
I think it's
But I
next
haven't
week,
picked
isn't
it
it?
up yet.
Isn't it
Um
next week?
at the time of this recording, at the time of this recording, yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Um
Okay.
but I haven't like that Visions of Mana. Those two I'm waiting for to come out at the time of this recording. But when I get back from PAX, I will have both games, and I will be
That's
playing.
It's gonna be a busy week next week because I think I'm gonna get Emio too. So Emio and Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
yeah. Man, if they're selling it at the Nintendo booth at PAX,
oh yeah.
it's gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know where our Airbnb is at. But if I happen to see that it's by a Target, I may have to make a quick stop across the street.
Make
Be
a
like,
quick stop.
yeah, guys, I went to go get some games and I got some
It'd be
snacks
great
too.
if it's Target's buy two get one free sale. That'd be like
Oh,
the
it's
best day ever.
oh it's, for Labor Day weekend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's possible. It's possible then. Yeah.
Uh, so,
Um.
uh, well, yeah. Also, what you been playing?
Well, I have been kind of boring because college football is still an everyday game. I'm an online dynasty with other people, so every
Mm.
day I at least play one game of it every day, and so that's a lot of my gaming time. Sometimes I play two, sometimes I play three or four. It just depends. So college football has been pretty much my main game. I haven't played anything on Switch in a while, but that's fixing to change because tomorrow, as of this recording, college football starts and football will be on TV for the next
I
5,
seen
6,
your
7 months.
list. I seen your
Yes.
list.
Yes.
Your top 12. I think you said Georgia was Georgia. No,
I
Georgia was
have
the number
Ohio
one.
State as number one.
Ohio
Georgia is
State.
number two. Um,
Okay.
and then I got Utah and Florida State doing the winning the deals. It's a whole new. This is the first year that there's only going to be 12 teams in the playoff instead of four. They've expanded it, so I'm
Oh,
very excited. That means there's more teams. Some people aren't excited about it because they think, oh, they're not. We're gonna get a bunch of blowouts in the playoffs. To me, I think it makes it way more interesting. More teams getting in makes the whole season more interesting to me. But that's besides the point. so that's for the college football podcast, Monsters College Football Podcast. Um, but but when college football is on and NFL starts back up, that's when I start playing a
mm-hmm.
lot more Switch and reading a lot more books. So I tend to do that a lot during the football season because it's I can have it on the TV and I can play something in my hands during commercials, so I don't have to hear whopper whopper and all that stuff. But I did start Spider-Man 2. I hadn't played it
Okay.
yet, and I'm very. This is. I have a mixed feelings about it. First of all,
Okay.
when I first started playing it, I was like, "This doesn't look right. What's wrong with this game? Like, it's slow. It's not. Doesn't feel right. The combat doesn't feel smooth." And then I was like, "Oh, I don't think I got to pick whether I want fidelity or performance mode." And I was like, "I wonder if it's in fidelity mode," and it was. So I switched to performance, and this buttery smooth Spider-Man combat was back, and I was like, "Okay." So that was one thing that threw me off a little bit. I was like, "This isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know," because when I play like I mean, to me, for Spider-Man and Batman, those free flowing combat games, I want it
Yeah.
as smooth as possible. I don't really care about graphics all that much. I want that buttery smooth gameplay where you're bouncing back and forth, blocking, dodging, and all that stuff. That's what I prefer. So the better the frame rate, better the game for me. But once I did that, I liked it. I like where the story is going. It's very interesting. My four favorite villains of Spider-Man are all in this game at the same time. And it
Mm-hmm.
made me very excited about one of my favorite villains. Um, just the stakes in this game. There are things that they did to one of the villains that I was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Like I was like, that's it's not something you see in a Spider-Man game like this. Maybe in a darker movie or something like that. But this
Yeah.
was like, oh, there's real stakes involved. So that upped Craven the Hunter. Not really a spoiler. He was well in the trailers and stuff. Craven the Hunter's always been one of my favorites. So making him more dastardly in this game, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. This is a good villain. So um, the things I'm not I like going back between Peter and Miles, but you know how there was like everyone complained about the science experiments in Spider-Man. You go
Yeah.
in the first Spider-Man, you go to Doc Ock's office and you do all these experiments. I didn't mind them because they were all right there and I can get them all done and then never come back and never think about it again. This game decided to pepper them all out through the game, so you have to constantly just
Oh.
you'll be in the you'll be in the middle of the story going, and then you'll find something, and you're like, all right, now I gotta do this puzzle, and it's like I would have rather just give me all the puzzles at one time, let me just do it, I know what I'm getting, and then I'm back to the game. I wasn't expecting a whole. I don't know, not really. I guess it's not really spoilers, but just like a whole carnival thing. You go to a carnival, you play carnival games, and you ride roller coasters, and it's like, do we really have to do this? Just let me play the game. Let me continue the story. It's it's those everyone complained about the Mary Jane moments and the Miles stealth moments
Yeah.
in the first game, and it's got more of it, and they're trying to get cute with it, but it's like, eh. I just want to play the game. Give me the story. Make it a cutscene, you know. But but the gameplay is great. I like all the new additions, all the new enemies to it. The story I really like so far. Um, I just wish that it would let me play the game. Oh, and the web wings where you fly. I don't know if you played Spider-Man 2 at all, Ed. Did you play
Not
Spider-Man
yet.
2?
Mm-mm,
Okay.
not yet. I don't. It didn't come out for PS4, did it? I think it's just a PS5 game only.
It's possible. I don't remember actually. I don't remember. That's weird if it is a PS5 only game, because that's not it's not a thing that PlayStation's been doing. Um, but
Which I have something to say after we get done. Uh,
but
Go ahead.
there are you can fly in this game with web wings, and it's like, oh, they could do Superman. They could make a Superman flying game with this. There's like there's like there are wind currents, so and there's like big circles that you can fly through, and if you fly through those
Mm,
circles you go super fast, and it's really satisfying to like go through all those circles. Like you actually want to go that fast, and it makes the traversal pretty fun. When it first introduced it, I was like, oh, this is not gonna, I don't want to do this because I want to web swing and stuff. But once you start getting through those wind currents and stuff like that, you're like, oh, this is a lot of fun too. This is a lot of fun. So traversal's great, combat's great, story's great. I just tired of the puzzles. I'll play Resident Evil. I'll play Portal. I'll play something else if I want puzzles. This is not it.
well, my thing I was gonna say about Spider-Man 2 is that I know that game and Mario Wonder came out at the same time, and people were just like, Spider-Man 2 was gonna beat Wonder and everything. But both games are great. People who, if you own both systems, you should own both games. The funny thing is that Spider-Man 2 sold what it sold. And the reason I say that is that Super Mario Brothers Wonder is still selling. Like it hit like 4 million copies a couple of months ago. And I'm just like, I remember that people said this game was gonna get trounced by Spider-Man 2. And it's just like that Mario, Mario has been on the NPD, and even the one in Japan have been on that list just like for months. And it's crazy on how well that game has sold.
I think you're looking at two different game styles ago. I mean, there's people that buy both. I bought both,
Mm-hmm.
but Spider-Man 2 sold 10 million. So it's it did all right. It did all right. It may Nintendo has notoriously long, sales because you're never going to get a price drop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I can
But
pay $60 now or $60 later. That's kind of the
so I wonder is the 10 million that Spider-Man 2 did, was that just in the month of October and probably November? Because it fell off after it came out, but like Wonder just been selling. It just kept selling. I'm just like, oh, interesting.
it did 13.2 million after 325 days on sale. Uh
So after a year,
yeah.
close to a year, okay, not bad.
Oh wait, no, that's Spider-Man. That's the first Spider-Man. That was in
Oh,
comparison. That's how I was getting confused. They sold Looks like they sold 5 million and when it first launched, and then it got to 10 million. So it had some tail
Okay,
to it.
over time. Okay,
Yeah,
I just thought
but
that it was like continuously sell because people would be was so hyped up for it, and it's just
well,
like,
you
why am I
gotta
seeing? Okay.
you gotta remember, Ed. I mean, I don't know what the sales comparisons are, but when's the last PS5 exclusive game that came out? Everyone bought it day one. They were waiting. They didn't have anything.
Oh,
When you had
that
Super
is
Mario
true.
Wonder, you already had a Nintendo exclusive just a month ago. Like no one needs to buy it. Like that's the thing with Nintendo. They release so many games that I'm like, I don't want to buy it now because I didn't play four exclusives ago. I haven't finished yet. I haven't or even
Right.
started it. I buy Princess Peach, and by the time I get to the second world, there's a new game coming out. It's like, yo, calm down, Nintendo.
Yeah. So
Fix the
Mario Brother.
fix the stuttering in Princess Peach and stop releasing it so quick.
Oh shoot. Wonder has did 11.96 million since October 20th of 2023. So that's not bad.
I do think
Yeah.
that I said this to Corey, and I think I said this to you that Xbox Series S I thought was going to sell really well because of college football. I think a lot of people that are um casual gamers and like that they play other games besides football and Modern
Mm-hmm.
Warfare, but they may only play three or four different story games. And that's where I think you get the guys that just play like PlayStation exclusives and then whatever. Those guys are going to be on the PS5 train now with they need all these third party games to go exclusive so everyone else gets the new system, but until then, why bother? You already have a PS4. Just keep going.
Well, it's very interesting that you bring that up. Because like I think the new Madden is out. Um, and I haven't heard no one talk about that game at all
I know
on
why.
any platform.
It's college football. I'm tell- I'm telling you, everyone waited 10 years for college football. That when Madden come out, they probably hurt their own sales on Madden with college football because it was that long of a wait, and everyone's still playing it. Um, everyone. I mean, I don't know what your Twitter looks like, but my Twitter is full of
Mm.
it every day. My Facebook is reel after reel of college football. Like it's
Well,
just,
it's
but no one's talking about Madden. And I would
yeah.
every year I would see people talk about Madden. I hadn't seen no one talk about it. I haven't
I
seen a
haven't
single
seen
clip.
I haven't seen reviews of it. I haven't seen reviews of Madden. No disrespect to college football, but and like you said, it may be my group. I haven't seen no one talk about that neither, and it's just like
Yeah,
it's it
your algorithm's messed up to where you're seeing it because
because
the
the
fact
thing
of how
because
much it sold and how much
mm,
it's it's so big with streaming too. Like
yeah,
I don't I would
and
be interested. What are the top Twitch games being streamed on Twitch right now? Because I bet you it's top five.
yeah, I can see that. Well, it's just following like IGN, GameSpot, I don't follow Kotaku, but the articles pop up. Nintendo Life I follow, Xbox I follow. Like I follow like devs and like different gaming journalists and stuff. And my community is very diverse for Xbox, PC, Nintendo, and PlayStation. I just thought that I just thought that I would see stuff trending, or some of my sports friends say, "Hey, I picked up the new Madden. Here's my review, or here's my idea." Like I'm not seeing any of that, so I'm
But
just
you know why, right?
it
Because we're playing the
wow.
game. We're playing the game. We don't have time to post anything on there.
Well,
How
even
many?
even
How many? Okay, I'm talking all about college football. 25.
mm,
Have you seen me post once about it?
no,
Because I didn't. Because it doesn't. That's a the people that post about games, like
mm,
what they're playing and what they think about games, like that, and like people who actually play like the football stuff are not the same people. Like a lot of people that I know that play football, they don't even get online to talk on
Right.
Twitter and stuff like that. Like these are like my dad, my brothers, all playing it. They don't get online. They don't. they're not. They're not
Well,
talking. They're not
it's.
posting
I
clips.
think it's.
There's a ton of people
I,
that are playing. That's just that audience isn't one to post like Nintendo. Like Nintendo people,
mhm.
like Nintendo fans. I swear there are Nintendo fans that just post that they play the game, and I don't even believe them. I don't even believe that they're playing games because it's
Well,
just
I
like,
see. I see clips. I see people taking pictures that they are playing this Nintendo stuff, and then when they beat the game, they let people know and stuff that they beat it. Even with gifts and stuff, making jokes and everything. I just feel like and like I said, it's probably a me thing. I try to follow a diverse set of gamers and players, even if it's casual, even if they don't post. I would love someone at least to mention some sports games about it, whether you play it, you dedicated playing it, or you just want to even touch on it. Like I even love seeing people just be like, "Hey, I just picked up NHL 24. Here's my picture that I got it." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And everything, knowing that you have interest in that
mhm.
game and stuff. I think that's kind of the stuff that I love to see, but I'm just like I'm not seeing it, and it
You
may
just you
be
gotta
that
if you
it may
go
be that
into your
hidden
search
success.
bar, if you go to your search bar
Mm.
on Twitter and just type in college football, there'll be a list of people for you to follow. I can give you a list of people to follow that post it. It's
Well,
just it,
I I think it's that hidden success of a game that
oh, it's
and
not
hidden
hidden.
success. Well, I
That
mean, a
people have been
hidden success.
Ed
I guess
Ed
I
they've been paying hundreds of dollars for roster updates for a 10-year-old game. That's how much people were dedicated to this game. They've been waiting on it for so long.
I
The only reason why we didn't get it was because the NCAA was getting sued.
no
They wouldn't
no
let
no
players get money.
no no not that. I hear the success that a game sells very big. It's like the number one thing and stuff. But
Hmm.
to a regular gamer who might not see that news or be up
Oh
to date
yeah,
about it, that part is hidden to them because it's not it's not common or it's not popular or um it's not reported enough or anything,
yeah.
or trending
Gamers who
on
don't watch football had no clue. Like if you look
mhm.
at Push Squares, they're like
Yeah.
college football is the best selling game, and we have no idea why. We know nothing about it, and it's just because, of course, they don't have. They're actually playing a college football game in Ireland this year. This is the first time they're going
Yeah.
over there, so that's like a big deal. Tomorrow's first game is in Ireland, so it's coming towards them whether they like it or not. But I understand, like, if you're mainly a gamer, you don't watch sports, you have no idea how big college football was. But anyone who is into sports a lot, like myself, and into games, like, you knew this was coming. You knew, like,
Yeah.
I would have bet so much money on Metacritic draft. Like, I would have. I mean,
The crazy thing about this, Austin, is when it first got announced that NCAA college football was coming back.
mhm,
We talked about this. We were just like, "Oh, this is about to be huge," because
yeah,
it was huge because Madden series was failing everybody. It was it was becoming average. It was kind of
mhm,
becoming a little bit tiresome. The reviews wasn't doing great. It might have sold well, but we don't know the sales. We see the reviews. I'm like, okay, and people moved on from it. When
it was
that
stale.
game got announced, right, and when that game got announced that it was coming back, people were hyped.
Mhm.
So and that's cool. We love that hype. Follow up that hype with just saying, "Oh, the game is out," which EA should have did some better marketing about that. Um, the game is out. These are the review scores. Or here's Metacritic. But oh, my friends are doing it on they're hyped to play this game on the weekend. They got the pizza, the drinks. They're doing online or not like I guess I would just love to see some kind of response to it. But here, definitely
And
hearing it,
and if you had
but
just
hearing
been
it,
on my Twitter account compared to yours, you would have seen it everywhere. I'm telling you, this is just the way it is. Like algorithms have got us down so good that they
yeah,
like to me, like I don't know anyone who like I see Nintendo from you and like David and all that, but I don't see it from anyone else. I see more PlayStation stuff because they know that's where I
yeah,
mostly play. The fact that
right.
I see Ghost of Tsushima trend every day, and I'm like, who's even playing Ghost of Tsushima right now? Like,
Exactly, same thing. And so
so
I think it's I think hit the I think it's just a hit of success for me that I
mm,
love to hear about a game being successful, but I don't understand why it felt hidden to me. Why there's not enough reporting on it. Why, different communities that I am a part of,
well,
why they just
this
haven't responded. And it may just be like that. It may not be
well,
their type of game.
this is another thing that places like IGN and stuff like that, they just their audience isn't interested in college football, so they're not
Mm.
going to post stuff about the game. Backyard sports, which is a huge thing
That's
if you
getting a
were a
lot
kid.
of love.
So, do you know who broke the story?
Um, I knew that they was bringing it back out, but I don't know who broke it.
So, no, it wasn't IGN. It wasn't any game place. It was Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated wrote that story and talking about it coming back. I had to look for it everywhere. I was like, who's reporting this?
Was that like 2 months ago? Like a
No,
while
this
back?
is this was just a couple of days ago. Sports Illustrated wrote a story. This company, let me see if I can find it.
I thought someone mentioned it and it was Sports Illustrated, but I thought that was a couple of months ago. Maybe it
No,
was
this
just
is this
recently.
is I mean, it was like hinted at I think a few months ago. But
Probably
it was
okay.
not
Confirmed.
reported. This was like official and it's a company I've never heard of doing it. Let me see if I can find it. Uh it's like it's like something productions and they're doing TV shows and movies and other merchandise, which is really exciting. I love the trailer that they show because it's still the 2D art. Um,
Yeah.
Whenever the old PC games were like that 2D cartoony art, the most recent game that I think that does it really well that made me hope for a backyard game was that game Dodgeball Academia. That
Uh
game gave me the same vibes as Backyard Sports. And so when I saw that, I was like, I want these guys to make backyard games. That'd be really cool. They got that 2D cartoon art because on the Wii and like PS2 era, there was this 3D backyard sports, which was it was it didn't have the same charm, and I think that's why it probably sold decently well because it was the Wii and everyone bought everything on the Wii. But this, as far as people's love for it, it never really went anywhere. But yeah, it's some company called some Progressive Productions. But yeah, Sports Illustrated did it, so they know who their audience is. It's the people for sports. They did a Sports Illustrated.
right.
They didn't bring it to IGN. They didn't bring it to Games Radar or who GameSpot or whoever. It's they're gonna bring it to the sports people, and I think that's why you just don't see as much crossover, which is unfortunate. Because like I explained to you and Pat one time, that I see sports like I see RPGs, like the different plays, the different skills, and all that stuff. It is
Mm.
kind of an RPG, um, but it's just different. It's just football. It's foosball,
Foosball. Yeah. So
but
yeah, like I get it. I do get it, and I'm not saying that I got nothing against college football. Like I said, people were hyped when that game got announced, and everything. I guess I just wish I saw more coverage of it on my side. But I'm great. I'm happy that so many people are playing it. I'm happy that it got a lot of good sales and people are enjoying it, and everything. Like it, the college football was a big thing back then. Definitely in the 2000s, it was a big thing. It was like on the level of NFL 2K and Madden. Like it
I don't
was
know the
that
numbers on top of my
important.
head, but it wouldn't surprise me if it outsold Madden whenever it was at its heyday.
Yeah.
Because college football is not as big as the NFL, but it's got a way more passionate fan base. The people who like college football
Yes.
really like the football, the game, whereas a lot of NFL fans, and I am more of an NFL fan, it's more about like the Sunday night, the drama, the theater of it. It's not just about the game, it's about all the stories and stuff. It's about
Hmm.
fantasy football. There's a lot more involved, whereas college football, it's more about the game of football. Um, and there's more passion. The marching band, don't get me started. All the marching band music just get you pumped. So um, it's called Playground Productions. I'd never heard of these people that are doing, because last I saw, Atari had the rights to it, the backyard
Right.
games, but I don't know if they're involved at all. Um, I don't know, but hopefully soon we'll see the return of Pablo Sanchez. And if you don't know who Pablo Sanchez is, you better learn because he's the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. That is. That is very true. And we'll probably see some gameplay in a couple of months, or probably by next year.
I hope
Um,
so. I when I saw the trailer, I was really hoping like, oh, I hope they've been working on this for the last few years, and we'll see something soon. Not here's this trailer, we'll see in 4 or 5 years, and maybe never hear of it again.
right. So, well, Austin, you want to get into some family
Yes,
news? Because we got some stories for you guys. And our first one, it's not Gamescom related, but we are going to get into Gamescom, everybody. Our first story is about Animal Crossing. Because Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is coming to an end online on in November, and but there is an offline replacement on the way. And this story comes from Nintendo Life. They announced that Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, Nintendo did, will reach end of service on November 28th, 2024 at 3 p.m. 7 a.m. You know, you guys can read the times. The announcement was posted on Nintendo's website and communicated via social media, in which the firm stated it would like to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who has supported the title since service began. New items and events will continue to be available until the designated date, but those disappointed that the app will soon end its online service can breathe a small sigh of relief. Nintendo has also announced that a new paid replacement will be made available that will allow users to transfer their current save data, but without any online capabilities. In the FAQ, Nintendo states that the pay app will retain the same gameplay and controls as the free-to-play version, but players will simply be able to access everything from a one-time purchase. No microtransactions will be included, but Nintendo clarifies that some features such as market boxes, gifts, and visiting other players' campsites will not be available. Players will need to link their Nintendo account to their current save data if they haven't already done so in order to transfer saves to the new version. This step is relevant for both Android and iOS users. So yeah, it's coming to an end. But most online games like this always end after some time, and it's like nothing new with Nintendo or any other app with it.
I see. So it's not really ending. They're just like it's not free to play anymore. They're making a paid version of it. Do the
Right.
people that have already invested in the free to play, do they have to pay for it now, or do they get it for free?
They have to pay
That I'm
for it.
not sure. Okay,
Yeah. So
that
everybody has to pay for it. But they're all the stuff that they did on the free to play version would transfer over.
I think if you like this game, you probably should support it and go ahead and buy this game. I mean, it's probably going to be
Mm,
what $5 at the most, maybe $1. I mean, no big
probably
deal.
10.
And I would be grateful that it's just a one-time fee because they could just say, "Hey, it's $5 a month. you gotta, it's a subscription," and that would suck. So, um,
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is still going. I guess people still play it on the phones. I thought maybe the Switch version would be enough for people, but hey, I played it for a little
People,
bit, but it's not enough to keep my attention.
yeah, people do both of it. Yeah, it's not my kind of jam or anything, but hey, it is something. I'm glad that they are doing something like this. But they also did something very crazy too. Nintendo did. They created its own Zelda themed social media to help Tears of the Kingdom development. I'm like, wait, what? The story goes, and this comes from Nintendo Life. We heard of some fun development stories over the years, but we think this might be one of the best ones yet. Nintendo created an eternal social media like platform to help streamline development on the absolutely massive Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Speaking at the Computer Entertainment Development Conference in Japan, director Hidemaru Fujibayashi and engineer Kenichi Hirose spent a portion of their presentation on the production flow for Tears of the Kingdom. And during this section, the pair spoke about the rupee bulletin board, where rupees were used in places of lights. The basic process follows this: drawing board to implementation to play test after reaching a milestone to data collection to analysis and then back to the beginning. Those final three steps will often take the longest, so the team wanted to help keep things efficient. Creating the creating the Rupee bulletin board allowed the developers to keep an eye on playtesters' feedback and team progress in real time. Genius. The rubies the rubies were used to indicate whether the team liked something that was being worked on. One other consistent rule was that all posts on the board should be objective and nothing could be suggested based on subjective impressions. Everything on the board needed to be backed up with facts. Plus, all feedback had to be constructive, like any good workplace. Um, Nintendo, if you happen to be reading this, any chance you can release Ruby Bulletin Board to the public, it'll absolutely definitely help with a bunch of work here. Though perhaps Nintendo is using it for echoes of wisdom. So, I think that's
Shout out
kind
to
of
Nintendo
cool.
Life. Yeah,
Yes.
this is a thing that a lot of companies are doing now. The job I work for also has its own social media, so this is not the first time I've heard this. It's not surprising to me, but theirs looks a lot more fun because of the rupee system. Man, that's way better
Yeah.
than the heart system that is used on every other platform. So that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, don't let anyone else on it. Keep it clean. Keep it objective. If we had a Twitter that
Yeah.
was only objective, how wonderful a world could it be?
And they were just like, yes, it had to be based on facts, and it had to be constructive about the game. So even though
Mhm.
you might not like something, you have to have facts on why you didn't like it. Like maybe this breaks the game, or maybe it affects this and stuff, and maybe you could bring solutions and everything. Maybe that's why the game was getting delayed so much, because they were getting so much feedback and they was fixing the game in broken areas, and working on it to make it have a high level, a high quality of an experience, I should say.
Yeah, and hey, that's good news for the next game that's coming out too. Can't wait.
Yes, yes. Well, our next story it's about the game is Gamescom. They're talking about all the games that is coming to Switch. That was revealed at the Future Game Showcase. Sid Meier's Civilization 3, Raven's Watch, Caravan Sandwich, Bloomtime, A Different Story, Fast Penguin, Lost Pink Heroes, Lost Eidolons, Veil of the Witch, which looks really, really cool from the artwork. The Stone of Madness, Beyond Galaxy Land, Sunset Hills, are the games that's coming to Switch. And then of course they announced Borderlands 4 for it, and then some other games. Me and Austin was talking earlier about Gamescom, and I'm going to admit to you guys, I thought the Gamescom opening live was boring. I literally fell asleep. Like, I, it just wasn't that good. Um,
It wasn't it also
yeah.
at like what time was it? Like 11 o'clock.
It was 12. Yeah, it was like 11, 12 o'clock our time here.
Yeah. So it was kind of like I remember being at work and being like, "Oh, Gamescom is now." I forgot about that. I kind of forgot that it was happening. I'm much more looking forward to Tokyo Game Show. I'm going to be quite honest. That's more what I was looking
That's what
forward
I'm
to.
looking for. Dude, Hideo Kojima is going to be there to talk about Death Stranding 2.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
The fact that
yes.
Sony's coming back has got me excited, but also Nintendo and I mean the Japanese they know what they're doing when it comes to making games. I'm very excited to see what's going on. Um I actually that list this list right here, I didn't hear about any of these games. So I don't was there like an indie show at Gamescom that I maybe
Yeah,
missed?
it was like the future game shows that it's kind of like almost indie, major,
Mm-hmm.
like third party and stuff. Because like Civilization 7 is a big third party game. And so, and I knew that game got announced for Switch, but I think this is the first time that they like gave it a date and stuff like that, and gave it a look and stuff. It looks really good. And the Civilization games have been getting really popular on Switch. Ever since they started bringing PC games to Switch and doing cross saves and stuff like that, it's got really popular with people on the go. So people could get it on Switch and then like probably on Steam Deck also. So yeah, but
Were any of these games stood out to you?
I had to check it and everything. I didn't get to watch the Future Game Show because of work. But I was just doing this roundup of games that is coming that got announced for Nintendo, and some other platforms, but definitely Nintendo. So I gotta watch it to see how these games look and everything. I've been a very busy boy, everybody. Like literally busy.
I think Bloomtown looks kind of interesting. It's a Persona inspired JRPG, which is already enticing to me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have to say though, Ed, there's a lot of complaints about there being so many team based shooters coming out and everyone trying to be
Yes.
Overwatch clone. And yet, this Fast Penguin is just another Fall Guys clone. So, which I think there's been more Fall Guys clones than there have been team based shooters. And I need y'all to calm down. Fall Guys is perfect. You can't do it, you can't remake it unless you're like, which Game Beast was first, but Game Beast was a whole other
Mm-hmm.
game. There's a bunch of different people trying to do Game Beast games and stuff like that. Make something else, please. Leave it to Fall Guys. Let them have it. You can't make a banger song like Fall Guys, okay? I have that song stuck in my
Mm-hmm.
head all the time. Unless you can make a better song, don't make a game. That's my criteria.
uh, well, yeah. Well, before we go on, because we they were announced that Indiana Jones is also coming to PS5 in spring. Um, do you think that Indiana Jones could also come to Nintendo on their successor? Um, Due to the fact that Nintendo and Microsoft have a really good relationship.
I mean, nothing's impossible right now. I just have to see what the Switch 2 is. I mean, if it's got the power of a Series S, why not? Why couldn't it be on there? I think it would do great on the Switch. So, Wolfenstein 1 and 2 didn't 2 was also on there. I I will never touch the Wolfenstein port on Switch. That's just my opinion because that's not where I want to play a first person shooter. but for those who do, that's always an option. Um, I think it's possible. I mean, do you think we'll get a Switch 2 before Indiana Jones comes out? Is the question.
No, we won't. No.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I This supposed Switch successor is just made up, I guess. I don't know. Like it may not even be
Nintendo,
real.
it's real, but Nintendo's just saying don't expect. They're keeping track of all the chatter of what their next system could be, but Nintendo just like, you guys want to let you know we're not talking about this just yet. When we're ready
Mhm.
to talk about it and show it, we would do that. But right now, we're not doing anything. So don't get your expectations up and everything. Because what happens is people get their expectations up. Nintendo will say something that's not going to happen. It doesn't happen, and then people get mad and upset.
Yeah.
You know, so
I don't know how people
Nintendo's
can
just
get mad
like,
and upset. They give you games every single month. Calm down. You don't need
mm-hmm,
a new Switch when you got enough games Switch to last you a lifetime.
yeah,
But yeah, Indiana Jones would be cool, but on Switch. But I have to see what the Switch can actually do first. Would be the real question. I think if it's not up to Series S snuff, that might not happen. Um, but I feel like if it gets up to that point, that surely they can get it on there.
yeah. So
But it looks very good. I mean, I've never seen Indiana Jones. I'm not a fan of Indiana Jones. I'm not against it. I've just never watched them. But the game looks pretty cool.
yeah, uh, when me and Snart was talking about it, I did predict that Indiana Jones was probably going to come out in December. When, I didn't know, but that would be the big game for December, and pretty much it is. So I'm like, this is a big win for Microsoft and for gamers for the holiday season.
I
Um,
think there are some Xbox fans that are a little upset that it's coming out in December because they really want Xbox to be in the Game of the Year awards
mhm.
talks, and December is kind of a bad month to release a game to be in the Game of the Year awards talks.
Well, the thing about it is that I don't. Nintendo might be in it, but it's been like Balatro, or Balato, that card based game.
Oh yeah,
That's been like heavily um been like game of the year nomination talks. Uh
yeah.
and
I'm curious that it would make it. That is my personal game of the year. I love Balatro.
yeah,
I love college
I
football
think
too, but Balatro is so good.
Balatro, thank goodness you're here, has been
Yes, that game
one.
looks awesome.
Uh like there's just literally been a lot of just indie games
Hmm.
that people are rooting for. Like, for maybe the big one would be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Would probably be
I
like a
feel
big
like
nomination.
that's the front runner as far as AAA stuff goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like I think even like the second biggest like AAA game that people are talking about was Shadow of the Erdtree, which is just an expansion. So I don't know
Right,
if that's gonna even count.
because like that one should count. That's the Final Shape, which is a
Yeah.
really great DLC. Me and Corey did a 3 hour discussion about Destiny. Everybody in retrospective, go check that out on Boss Rush. Um, but it's DLC. It's nothing new or anything. So like, for expansion, yes, it is. It's really, it really felt that indies made a comeback this year, um, because of, you know 2023 being a big game for console and PC. It returned back to the majors. There wasn't no balance in everything, but this year it seems like is becoming to be a balance again, but with a lot of indie games leading instead of AAA games. and stuff.
Yeah, Harold Halibut came out this year. That's a game that people really like.
Hmm.
There is another Crab's Treasure, which was a game that people like. The Dark Souls clone with the little crab.
Yeah,
Um, Dragon's Dogma 2, I forgot about. I didn't play, and I didn't
but
play the
that
first
a
one.
lot of
That
people,
might be
yeah, a lot of
a
people got that
competitor.
as their Game of the Year nomination. Yeah. Um,
Um,
I think I'm gonna give it up to Ubisoft if they can play their cards right. I really think that Star Wars Outlaws could be a good nomination. If it
I
get good ratings and people enjoy it, that and Assassin's Creed Shadow look like that could be some two big Game of the Year
Yeah,
nominations.
if they get like eights or nines, I think you can see them up there. But hopefully,
Hmm.
hopefully I wouldn't mind seeing them up there. But hopefully, we're seeing a lot more indie games this year. Um,
Yeah.
that get it, because then for a second there, it seemed like indie games were kind of. It's not that they were doing rough; it's just that they weren't getting the love they deserve. Um,
Yes.
and now I think we're getting back to, hey, there are some really cool games. I also feel like I'm like forgetting some indie games that came out this year that I also really liked. Uh, oh, Prince of Persia might also be another one that's up there. I know a lot of people like the Prince of
Yes.
Persia game, and then that Tales of Kinzaru was also a really cool game. Um, so there's a lot. There's a lot of different things, but we have a lot more to go. I mean, we have a Zelda game coming out. We have a Mario RPG coming out. We got uh Concord came Concord came
So
out. Uh
so Concord is officially out, right? It
yes, it
came out
is
on
out as
okay.
of today, this recording. It came out today. Um
Okay.
and
I'm
people are
assuming.
playing it as far as I can tell by just being. I played some today. Basically, I did like the daily challenges. I had no problem finding a match. They loaded up really quickly. um, the game is the game. I just don't know if it's gonna stick. I'd be interested to see what the drop off is in a week. I also actually, I might just pull that up now. What are the Steam numbers right now?
And someone said like they showed it like at 660. I'm like, but I'm like, you also got Mook One, that the monkey gang
Yeah,
or
Black
Muck
Myth
One.
Wukong. Yeah,
Yeah.
that game's that game's got some wild stuff too.
It I think it has
Ooh,
10 million players on it.
it is at 602 people on Concord on Steam. That is not good. Um, yeah,
Because there's just like other stuff that people are playing. So it
yeah.
may not, you know, and plus people still doing Hell Divers 2, which also might get some a nomination and everything.
Oh yeah, Helldivers 2 might as well. They keep kind of shooting themselves in the foot with all their releases and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, I Helldivers 2 is a very fun game. I had a lot of fun when I played it, but I knew it was a game that I was going to play for a month and then probably fall off of it because I'm just not like a ongoing experience type of game. I'm not a why am I forgetting the term? But I play Call of Duty for like a few months when it comes out and I drop off. Overwatch used to be my game, but now I just don't play those online multiplayer games as much anymore.
Hmm.
Um, and so Helldivers, like I really liked it, but I knew I was going to switch to some single player games because that's where my bread and butter is. And it just seems like the community just isn't as happy anymore as they once were. But it could very well be in that conversation. It is kind of a weird year this year. Now that I think about it. Um,
Yeah, I'm planning on going through the months, the releases and stuff, and see at what time what was the big game. It's definitely Fire, not Fire Emblem, Hellblade, not Hellblade, well Hellblade 2, yeah,
Hellblade had its
Hellblade 2
time.
was a big one. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Balatro, uh,
Oh, you think
they
like a
getting a show
dragon
here.
might be up there too?
Infinite Wealth, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big one. I forgot that one drop, and everybody loved that.
that
Like,
was on
there's a lot
Sunday
of
or
big games.
January.
Hades 2 beta. Even though
Yeah.
it can't be a game of the year winner, it got a lot of love when that beta dropped
Do you think
and
Hades 2 will
stuff.
come out before the end of the year? I mean, it's possible, I guess. I'm not sure.
If Depending if they do the same thing that they did with Nintendo, like it drops on Switch first and then it drops everywhere else. Because Hades
I don't think
became
they'll do
pop.
that. I think they'll just put it out. They don't need to.
I think they are. Well, the thing about it is that Hades 2 on Switch got them a lot of recognition and a lot of sales. And then it came to PlayStation and Xbox and later on. But no one was, once again, it was on Epic Store, but really wasn't nobody playing in this beta form. Nobody was talking about it. It showed up on Switch and it just blew off from there. Like, even just think of, different for some of my LGBT folks. Um, they loved the character designs and had feelings and emotions. I would say for some of them, but it was a
I like the
big thing.
designs of the game too. That was my game of the year, but I don't think it's for the same
Hmm.
reasons. I think I just like the way they looked. I don't think I felt some kind of way.
Right, which is understandable, but it was just like Hades became a big name because it came on Switch. It was the full version. That's what everybody was playing.
Hmm.
So when it came out on Xbox and PlayStation, everybody rebought the game. So of course, the functionality of it, like the technical aspects, was a little bit better, but people were getting like the achievements and stuff like that and stuff, but it was because of them playing it on Switch. So maybe this time they may do the same thing. If not, they may just put, like you said, put it out everywhere and everything to make it fair
So
this time.
there are some games I think could make a run for game of the year coming out in the next couple months. I think Astrobot has a chance if they
Yes.
landed on there. The Plucky Squire is another indie game that I'm really looking forward to. That I'm hoping will live up to the expectations. You have the Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I think will be up there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then in October, you have Metaphor Fantasio. From what I've
Yeah.
heard, it's already on the par with Persona. And from people that I've heard that are Persona fans, they were like wanting something a little more mature. And I was actually talking about this with a friend of mine at work because we're both Persona fans, and we were like, I told him I was like I wouldn't mind like a Persona MMO where it's like Persona U and it's more college and it's a little more mature
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that instead of the high school stuff. And from what I'm hearing on Metaphor and Fantasio, it's more mature. And if you're looking for like that non-teen type stuff, but you still want that Persona style and vibe,
Yeah.
this game looks to be it. So I think that's going to be up there. Um, and then you're
So
probably not going to
this
see Black
this is
Ops
the
6. Dragon Age
mm,
is another one,
Dragon
maybe.
Age. Yeah. Yeah. If Dragon Age is very successful with console and PC players, it not
Hmm.
only would it be a hit for BioWare, um, it would be a big hit for EA. Because I'm not saying that BioWare doesn't need a hit, and some people might argue that they do, but I think BioWare needs to just remind people who they are and what they're good at.
I don't think it has to be like a huge hit as like Baldur's Gate. I don't think it needs to be that.
Right.
But it needs to please the BioWare fans. It needs to be better than Anthem. It needs to be better than Andromeda. They do need like they need a 8 or 9 for sure on like review
Yes.
score. And review score is not everything, but they need that critical success because if it's another 6, 7 and people aren't really feeling it, that's pretty dire for BioWare, man. Like it's just I and I'm really rooting for Veilguard to be really good. Not only because
Yeah,
I do like Dragon Age and I actually do want to play Inquisition again now that you were talking about it. Um,
such a great game.
but I want Mass Effect 4 or whatever next Mass Effect game. I want it so bad.
Right,
And I even liked Andromeda, but I don't think we'll ever get
and
another Mass Effect game if this game doesn't at
and
least
I would
hit.
say, and I will say this because I did enjoy Andromeda. I don't know why people didn't like it. Whatever their reasons are, it is. What I like about Andromeda, what I'm looking for is Velgar, and like even with Anthem, I didn't have no problems. I really feel like when Bioware heart is in the game and you can see it, and you let them be them, you get a phenomenal game.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get, I'm not saying you get corporate inside of it. I think when you get people's discontent and negativity and everything, um, being louder than what the game is expressing and stuff, it makes it really hard. It really makes it hard to get people to understand. Not understand. It gets people. It it makes people not see the hard work that they put into the game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Bioware is not a team that don't put everything and even their foot into it. They
Yeah.
put everything in their games. No, I might have my problems with Knights of the Old Republic, but it was a different Bioware from now. But still, they put everything into
Yeah.
and I think is if people would just get back to that and just see that when they put everything into it, when they put their heart, when they put what they love and ideas and creativity and stuff, they really put it into a game and something fantastic comes out. It's just that
Yeah.
people's noise of negativity overshadows what they're trying to do and everything, or what
Yeah.
the game could be. So what ends up happening is that ends up hurting sales. It gets people to turn away and be like, "Well, I heard this without people playing the games for themselves and everything." So I'm rooting for BioWare. I really am. Like I said, I didn't have no problem with Anthem. It has some parts that could have been better and stuff, but man, that flying and that shooting, the
Mm-hmm.
customization, the story is whatever
Yeah.
really felt good. Bioware was really at the top of their game. And same
Do
thing with
you
Andromeda. Okay.
so so I would argue that outside of Fallout 76 and that Elder Scrolls is still kept like their fan base happy even when
Mm-hmm.
they release games that are not quite up to par as far as graphics, as far as combat and stuff like that. Like it, but it's still at its core a Bethesda game. I feel like BioWare, one thing that when they try to do Andromeda, they try to get like that really smooth third action gameplay, and they focused more on that than they did the story. And I think that's what kind of lost people on it. When they did Anthem, they tried to make a game a really good like action game, but they didn't the story, they didn't really focus on that. I think if BioWare just focused on what people love them for, I do not love KOTOR for the gameplay. That the gameplay is not great. KOTOR's not a great gameplay game, but the story is so good and the customization, the RPG effects. My favorite Mass Effect is 1 because it's more like an RPG. It doesn't play as well. It's not the best third person shooter, but just the mechanics of it just being a little clunkier and stuff, it's what
Mm-hmm.
made me fall in love. All that lore that they added into it, I wonder if maybe had BioWare gone more the Bethesda Games route, where hey, we're not focused on the best graphics, we're not focused on the smoothest gameplay, we're not focused on making this like a game that you and your buddies are gonna want to hop on and play horde mode or whatever. What we are focusing on is the lore. What we're focused on is the RPG mechanics, the story, the more you know. If they would have focused more on that, I wonder where they would be compared to now. Like if I can go back in time and make a decision.
I think
That's
people still
something I do
be
wonder.
I think people still will hold them in high regards and stuff. Because I still hold them in high regards. I think Bioware is very good at what they do. Um, I think they're good at some right now. They're good at gameplay. They're good at characters development because you end up loving a lot of their characters, and they're good at making choices. You know, your choices affect the narrative and the story, and how you and it's very random on what happens or the outcome will be once you start making your choices and stuff. They're still good at that. It's just that there's just so much of some players in the community that come across very negative about stuff, and that negativity is up hurting the sales of the game or the experience of the game because people won't give it a try because they're listening to somebody else instead of
Yeah.
trying it for themselves and everything. So, and you know how some people are, we play games and then it becomes backlog, and then when we feel like we want to go back to that game, we go back to it and be like, oh, okay, now I get why this or why that and stuff. You know, I'm always up for people making their own decision and opinions about games, and I
Yeah.
truly respect that. The thing about it is that when you haven't when you haven't given a game a full, I would say if you're gonna criticize the game, give it a full playthrough. Everybody knows me in Grand Theft Auto. Everybody knows me and how Rockstar games are. But I will play that game to full before I make any kind of criticism and stuff. Now
Mm.
I could do commentary criticism and everything. But for my full criticism about the game, I want to finish it first before I say I really say something because things could change and everything. Look, I knocked Rockstar for Grand Theft Auto 5. Hard I knocked it. But shoot, I also gave them credit because Max Payne 3 is probably one of the best Rockstar games that I ever played. Red Dead Redemption 2 is acceptable. It has a lot of problems. I will yell at it. I will scream at it some of the dumb ideas and points into it. But it's acceptable. It's an okay game. It could have been a way better. But it's an okay game. But Max Payne 3, love the story, the music, how everything plays out. I love Max being bald headed. I love Max being bald headed. Hmm. I'm gonna have
So
to
if
sorry everybody.
so if you would just play Red Dead 2, take Arthur Morgan to the barber shop and give him a bald head, you might like Red Dead 2 more. I mean,
No, because no, because there's a lot of problems in that game just outside of him being a character with a bald head.
don't you think that if Arthur Morgan, just picture him with the clean shaved head that Jason Statham
Doesn't
look,
even
you don't
matter.
think
Doesn't
you don't think
doesn't even matter.
I think you would let some of the mistakes go. I think you'd overlook a
No,
few things.
because no. The thing about it is, okay, everybody, side tangent. No, I'm sorry. We're gonna get into the last story of family news. Side tangent. That man had many chances of walking away from everything, and he did not. And the only reason why he didn't walk it away because that's the only way to progress the story in that game. All the other times, really, in reality, he had a chance to get his money, get on his horse, and bounce.
I wonder that would have been an interesting way to finish the game. You know how Far Cry always has like an alternate ending in the game.
Yeah.
6 in particular, if you after the first mission, if you just drive your jet ski off the map, you end up in Miami and you live a good life. And but the Yara does not live a good life. They're under dictatorship because you left. I Red Dead 2 would be an interesting thing if it's like, hey Arthur, you got $10,000, which is a ton of money in the back then. If you just ride your horse off the map, you live a
Mm-hmm.
good life. Dutch dies, Micah die, everyone dies, and you're all free to go. But then we wouldn't get Redemption 1 with John, so just can't let it happen. Just can't let that happen.
what was but we got Red Dead Revolver by Capcom.
Yeah, no one cares about that game. No one cares about
And
Red
you
Dead
and
Revolver.
once again,
No one cares about Red Dead Revolver. No one cares.
that is true, but I just never mind. Well, so let's get into this last story. Um, so everybody, of course, the Nintendo Museum they had the direct, so you guys can check that out. Your me would be on the ticket. But our actual last story, um, Atsuka, Asuko Tanaka, the Japanese voice of Bayonetta, has passed away. She also played Chun Li in Major from Ghost in the Shell. There's some incredibly sad news coming out of Japan this week about the passing of Asuka Tanaka, the voice actor behind many major video game and anime roles. This was revealed by her son, Hakuru Tanaka, on social media, noting how she died on August 20th at the year of 61. Um, she was 61 years old. Some of her most notable roles include the voice of Bayonetta in the Japanese version of the game, Chun-Li from the Street Fighter series, Lara Croft and Motoko, the Major Kusanagi, the protagonist of the famous anime series Ghost in the Shell. In addition to this, she played characters from games and anime like Nier Replicant Kane, Devil May Cry, Trish, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Lisa Lisa. Platinum Games, the development team behind the Bayonetta series, has also issued an English statement on social media in response to Tanaka's passing. They state, "We are incredibly saddened to hear of the passing of Asoko Tanaka, who provided the Japanese voice of the titular character in the Bayonetta series. We are extremely grateful to her for breathing life into the character of Bayonetta and offer our deepest condolences to her loved ones at this difficult time." Um, so yeah, anyone who and Major from Ghost in the Shell, like she is a big character. I'm assuming I think she may have did the movie and the TV series. Well, of course the movie because that's Ghost in the Shell. The movie came
Mhm.
out first. I don't know if she did the TV series. I'm about to look it up. But this is very sad news that she passed away. But she lived her life to the age of 61, and I mean, still doing voice work. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I
Rest in
think
peace.
in
That's it's unfortunate. Too young.
yeah,
61's too young, but
yeah, I think I think for me, for knowing about her, Bayonetta 3 would be the last work that she did then. Gamer wise that I know of anything.
yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't. I'm not too familiar with her work. Because I
Mm.
don't know. The only game I played the first Nier, but I don't remember the remember it very well. And that's really the only thing I've probably played with her in it. Um, I've got to play Bayonetta. I've got to play that series eventually. It's on my list,
Yeah,
but
yeah, she should be in like I think the remaster ones. I think the Switch. I think all of versions of Bayonetta she should be in if you go to the Japanese track. So yeah, I'll probably throw in Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 and listen to her voice. I remember seeing Ghost in the Shell in Japanese also and hearing her and everything. So that might be a rewatch for me also.
mm,
But how about we get into Pack Watch and talk about the
let's do
games
it.
that is coming out? Uh, our first game is Bakaru 9-3. Disaster strikes again. Oracle Sotaro and his festival troops are using a bizarre festival to take over Japan. Bakaru travels to 47 Japanese prefectures to free Japan from the grip of evil spirits. Gimmick 2, September 5th. In Gimmick 2, you once again meet the green little yokai Yamataro. Uh, uh, the green little yokai Yamataro. Decades after his first adventure, he now sets out on a new quest in a world packed with interesting challenges, dangerous enemies, and hidden treasures. Ace Attorney Investigations coming out September 6th. Experience both Ace Attorney investigations games in one gorgeous collection. Step into the shoes of Miles Edgeworth, that prosecutor of prosecutors for the Ace Attorney mainline games. Leave the courtroom behind as you walk with Edgeworth around the crime scene, gathering evidence and clues and talking with persons of interest. Use your wit and what you discover to solve tough, intriguing cases through logic and deduction. Sunsoft is back. Retro game selections, also on September 6th. Sunsoft is back and is bringing some of its 8-bit classics to the West for the very first time. In Sunsoft is back, Retro game selection, discover 3 of the legendary Japanese publishers' Famicom games and play them in English for the first time ever. The 3 games included are The Wing of Medulla, Firebreak Tower, Kantoro, 53 Stations of the Tokiado, and Ripple Island. Dive into Sunsoft's rich history by playing those action and adventure gems from the 1980s. Our last game also is Arrow the Acrobat 2. After managing to stop Edgar Hector's mad plans to destroy the world of amusement, Arrow decides to investigate the Madman's Museum of Horror. There, have find, there, he, there he finds a strange floating machine. Sorry. There he finds a strange floating magician's box. When he gets inside to investigate it, he is suddenly transported to a mysterious place. However, unbeknownst to Arrow, Edgar has managed to survive after being rescued by his minion Zero and has asked him to execute the Plan B. But what could this mysterious plan be? Arrow would need to escape the mysterious place he's trapped in if he wants to stop Edgar Hector's new plan. I know Bakaru and Ace Attorney or Bekaru and Ace Attorney are definitely on my list of games to get. Bekaru they showed in the Japanese Nintendo Direct in June. So that's why I'm just like, oh, I need this game. It looks so good. And Ace Attorney or Ace Attorney Investigations, those games never came to the West.
Mm-hmm.
So I never got the chance to play them. So this would be my first time playing.
I had to look up Backroo, but yeah, it's a 3D platformer. It looks pretty cool. I uh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely might check that one out.
It kind of looks like a Gobimon, or Legend of the Mystical Ninja, because it's
Mm.
actually from the developers and produce director who made that game.
I'm interested to
So
check that Sunsoft collection. Um, I haven't played too many of Sunsoft games. I played Journey to Silius on the
mhm.
NSO, and I actually I actually like that game. The Batman Sunsoft game is known to be one of the better Batman games. I never got to
Top
play it.
tier. That soundtrack is bomb big.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I've never got to play it, but I've seen playthroughs of it, and
Mm.
it is a top tier game. The music is great. I didn't know that they made Lemmings. I do like Lemmings a lot. Um, so I had to go look through Sunsoft stuff. Not a whole lot since then.
Yeah. So,
But I didn't know if you knew
but
anything about these 3 games that they got on here. All Japanese
no,
games, so
no, they're all for the Famicom days. So there wasn't no reported EGM or GamePro or anything about them. I've never heard of these games, so they would be all new for me. I know Arrow the Acrobat is the Super Nintendo version, and it's only $5.99 on Switch. So
oh
that's a good deal.
yeah.
For it. But Austin, that's gonna be it for the show. We had a lot of great discussions in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So happy that you could join me. Do you
Yeah,
want
I'm
to
glad to
plug
be here.
anything? Should people pick up college football for PlayStation or Xbox?
Nothing to plug, but let me just do 2 things. 2 things. Buy college football, play with me. We'll play on Online Dynasty. It'll be a lot of fun. You can add me at PlayStation on PlayStation and everything else wherever you want to find me at. Um, the second thing is I've been thinking about it. We need Frogger back. I want Frogger back so bad. I love Frogger. The only game you can play on the Switch is the old Frogger, which is fine. But I really, really want those Game Boy Advance Frogger games back. They were so good. They're so
Ah,
good. I
interesting.
love those games. Konami, what are you doing? Stop stop wasting so much time. Konami, please just make games again.
You know
Castlevania.
do you know what's funny? All the hate that went towards Silent Hill 2 remake is gone now because it became everybody's anticipated game in October. Like people want it.
I
It's so
didn't know that
weird.
people were hating on it, but I've been a staunch defender of the Silent Hill 2 remake. I really
Hmm.
like Silent Hill 2. I am not one of these people that get so bent out of shape over little things like the fog and all this stuff. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. To me, I don't care. I don't get offended. I don't care about what's her face's face. I don't care. I just want to see the game get a little more light because I think a lot of people that say that they played the game probably didn't actually play the game. Um, it's easy to just hate on something. Bloober team
Hmm.
is not perfect. They're not perfect. They've got some misses and some bad ones, and their last one
The,
was not great. If the medium
the
was the last
medium.
one, yeah, medium wasn't very good,
I was
but
shocked that actually went to PlayStation. I thought that was going to be just an Xbox exclusive, and it hit
nah,
the
that was just one
PlayStation.
of
I'm like,
them
oh,
those timed
time exclusive.
exclusives. We're finally getting Raincoat on PlayStation. I can't wait. I can't wait for Raincoat. You know, I kept telling
Yeah.
people that Shin Megami Tensei 5 was not going to be a Nintendo exclusive forever. And people were like, no, it's never coming to PlayStation. I'm like, yes, it will. I will play it when it comes to PlayStation. And guess what? It's on PlayStation. And I still haven't played it.
The second version of this game, everybody, the
Yes, but you could
Vengeance,
still play the
the
first
updated version.
version on there. It's
I
fine.
know that, but we have the original.
It's still fine. I can't get trophies on the original on Twitch, so that doesn't
That is
apply to
true.
me. it
That is true. Plus,
doesn't.
the it's hard on
Oh
normal. I'm
yeah,
like, are you
yeah,
serious? Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Shimigami Tensei, man, that's a game that every time I play one, because the last one I played was the 3DS one. That was three, yeah, three whatever remake that was for the 3DS. Every time I would play it, I would get about halfway through and I say this is way too hard, and then I never finish it. And then I'm like, I'm gonna restart it, and I get about halfway through and I'm like, this is way too hard. I'm never gonna finish it, and just keep going in circles. So 5 will probably be the same way. I'll never finish 5.
uh, well, we'll try. Let's try.
We'll
Let's
try,
let's
but
try.
then when Metaphor and Fantasio comes out, I'm gone.
I
I,
still need to look. I'm not gonna lie. I still need to buy Vengeance, even though I own the
mhm.
original one. I still need to buy Vengeance. Oh,
Yeah,
Alice,
I heard
Alice is thinking gonna get that coin.
Atlas being Atlas, they have to make you buy it twice if you want the good version of the game. Like the
Dude,
original version is good, but you have to buy it twice to get the best version it is. Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, all the Persona 3 remakes. Atlas, man. I even debate, do I want to buy Metaphor when I know that there's going to be a better version of it in a year? And I just can't wait that long. So I'll be buying Metaphor.
I should I still need to pick up Persona 3 remake.
Mm. I wanted to get
Because
that one on physical. I've got myself quite a
did they
big.
make a physical one or is it just digital?
No, it's physical. I've got quite the I have a quite the PS5 exclusive or PS5 physical
Hmm.
collection. That's one I'm trying to build up because it might be the last. It might be the last physical collection you can do on PlayStation. So
Well, shoot. Like I
going
said,
hard.
I'm still waiting for the pro. So if
Yeah.
that happens. I'm at this point.
I
I'm just
think we're
like,
gonna hear about it this year. I just don't know if you'll get it this year.
sure. I could already see. I could just. I'm hearing Persona 3. You never seen it coming. Man, Persona 3 got some hits, dude. I
Oh, they do.
swear.
They do.
They got some hits.
I'm still Persona 4 soundtrack all the way. That's still my favorite one, but
Okay,
3 and
I
5 have
so
got the hits.
I we may have to run through Persona 4 together because I got
Oh
it on
man.
my Xbox, I got it on my Switch, and I can't get past the intro. It feels so boring. But they said 4 is good, and I understand it's golden. Golden is the best version of this game. So I may have to play it with somebody, and so we can speak about it because that's the
Are
only
you
way I feel like I'm going to get through.
you're saying the beginning of it's boring? Is that the
It feels very boring. Like I just like I'm ready to just tap out of it. And I don't know if it's because of the dialogue, if it's just slow or something.
That's so
I
weird.
don't
Do you
know.
like murder mystery type stuff? Because I feel like that's why
Love it. I understand this is Persona 4 is the Scooby
Dang.
Doo version of the
Yeah,
Persona games.
that's why that doesn't make sense why this one isn't getting you because to me it instantly got as soon as you see the first death, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm hooked. I'm in
it,
on
it
whatever this is.
I think this intro just feel like it's taking too long. I don't know why. It doesn't feel like I'm into the game. It's something about it. Like
Hmm.
I like I said, I need to start it up and just straight stick with it. Um uh because I just don't know why I can't get into it. Like Persona 3, I stuck with it on PS2.
Hmm.
FES. I stuck with it and I was just like, okay, love Fez.
Yeah.
And I always been to the Persona games because I played one on PlayStation, but I rented it, so I didn't get to have a chance to sit down and
Hmm.
grasp it all. And then Persona 2, it wasn't available in my area, so I couldn't play it. Um, but I literally want to sit down, and I guess I just got to force myself to play 4. Maybe if I get past the intro and play about 10, 15 hours of the game, I think it'll start getting good if it clicks with
Yeah.
me, you know?
Yeah, I think once yeah, we definitely need to play it together so we could talk about it. That way I can see what you're seeing. Because
Mm,
it has been a minute since I played it, but I from the very first part of it I'm in. There I do remember at the very beginning there's a lot of time when you're in the shadow world and it's like Teddy, God bless his soul, but Teddy can be a little bit much at the beginning,
yeah,
and you're like, why do I even like? He is not. I will say, Persona 4 is my favorite, but he is not as cool as Morgana. Morgana in Persona 5 is way cooler than Teddy. Way cooler than Teddy. So I have to give 5 that. But 4, man, oh man, it gets really really good, and especially if you, I think the first one that the first Shadow World you go into is definitely the worst of them all. So it just gets better after that.
after.
Um,
Yes, and
and that's
I
because
think
the
that's why.
character that you're doing it for, in my opinion, is the most bland character of them all. So you you just get more interesting characters as you go. So
Yeah, I
in
should
my
go.
opinion.
Okay,
A lot of
and
people
then
that
I'll
like
start.
Persona 4 really like that character. They stand
Mm,
it. I they're just
maybe
bland to
that be
me.
one of maybe that be the game that I play when I'm on my flight and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And just have
Hey,
my
you
headphones on and just
if I have a
oh, I'm
reason, all I need is a reason to play Persona 4 cuz the only reason why I don't play it again is because I have other games to play, but if you tell me, "Austin, you need to play this with me." I have a reason. I now have a purpose to do it.
But everybody, that's gonna be it for Nintendo Power Block. Austin, thank you for joining me. Thank you for these good discussions.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, thanks for listening and or watching Nintendo Power Block, which is part of the Boss Rush Network. If you enjoyed our discussions, please do subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast application. You can support us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Network. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody. Woo-hoo!
See ya.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Deering, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.